Hello guys. Today we are going to be talking about Shazam: Fury of the Gods. This is an interesting one too. It's kind of a weird, similar case to the anime movie. We'll get to that in a little bit. This movie did come out this year. It's rated PG-13. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. The movie got a 6.0 out of 10 on IMDb with about 100,000 ish user votes, 111,000 ish. It had it has 47% on Metacritic with 231 critics. It was directed by David F. Sandberg, who also did the movie Lights Out, and also the first Shazam movie. It stars, let me see here. It stars Zachary Levi, who was in the first Shazam movie, and Asher Angel, who was in the movie High School Musical, the series. Oh, he also plays in the first Shazam movie too. Um, on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 49% by critics with 258 critics and 86% by audiences without 2,500-ish audience people. The critics' consensus is more unfocused and less satisfying than its predecessor. Shazam! Fury of the Gods still retains almost enough of the source's material, silly charm to save the day. The audience says, a sequel with plenty of action and tons of heart, Shazam! Fury of the Gods should satisfy anyone who enjoyed the first film. Okay, having said that, so these movies I watched back to back. And here's the thing with this one. The biggest issue with the Shazam movie compared to the first one, I think the problem with this one is I feel like I don't think the writing is as strong. I think the biggest reason why is balancing. I feel like in the first film I think did a better job of balancing certain things and certain elements. This one didn't. I also feel like here's the one thing I don't remember a lot of people talking about this, but I will say this. And also again, because this has been out for a while, I might be a little more spoiler heavy than I typically am because it's been out for a bit. So if you haven't seen it, if you're looking interested, I just want to give you a fair warning on that. The problem with this, the kid version of Shazam isn't around as often, and when he is, he does feel more mature than the adult Shazam. Like, I don't think it makes, because in the first film, I felt like the personalities mixed a lot better. Because you still believe that adult Shazam is still Kid Shazam. And this one, it's weird. Like Kid Shazam he's still acting like he's still young, while the Kid Shazam feels more older and mature, which is really weird. And I think the biggest reason why they went with that, I think because they were showing that that when he was a kid, he was trying to keep that kid stuff in, and when he's Shazam, like it just kind of explodes out of him a little bit because he has so much energy and doing shit and whatever. That's the only explanation I could think of. Things I like. I mean, I'm a sucker for Captain Marvel Shazam shit. So this movie already kind of has a one-up for. I think the biggest thing, I think what makes this movie better than Ant-Man in a lot of ways is that I feel like unlike Ant-Man, this movie's allowed to just be Shazam. It still has a spirit and heart, but like I said, I think the biggest issue with this movie is I don't think the action doesn't feel as earned. I feel like this movie it's a lot more action driven from what I remember. And to be honest, I don't think the characters, I don't know if they get explored as well. I feel like the first movie did a good job exploring all the characters in a decent amount. This one, I don't know. Now, granted, keep in mind when I'm reviewing this stuff here, I really haven't watched these movies since they first came out, so my memory might be a tad foggy. But this one, I don't know. I just didn't balance as well. I do, and I will say this: I like the main villains. I do like them. However, I will say they are original villains, and that's fine. I'm not saying Captain Marvel's villain archive is like mega rich, but I feel like it's rich enough where I feel like you could have done an OG villain of equal caliber to the first one. It would have been okay. I think what really hurts, and that's the other thing I think does hurt this film a little bit, is I feel like that's the other thing too. I think the message or point the film was trying to get across, I don't think it does a good job of it. I don't know. It just feels very like, it just feels like something you kind of, in terms of like the lesson and everything, it kind of feels like something you kind of have seen before a little bit. And granted, I feel like if they showed how it affected kid Shazam, I think it would have come across a lot better than just showing how it affect adult Shazam, because they really, I'm not lying, like they really honed in on adult Shazam quite a bit, which is really weird. But I think a lot of it too has to do with the fact that like Kid Shazam, he grew up a lot. Because keep in mind, like the original Shazam, I think came out in like 2019 or something. Like it's been 4 years. It's a long time. So I will say like, and you know what? And to be honest, I do feel like the effects in the first one might be a little better, just a little. But this one has a lot more shit going on. But again, it does get into Captain Marvel Shazamism. So overall, I do like this one a little bit better than Ant-Man and Ant-Man Quantumania, but not by a lot. I think the first one is better than this, mainly because I feel like this one, I feel like it kind of falls back on a few little superhero cliches more than the first one did. But there's still a lot of good stuff in this movie. There is. Um, Even though I feel like it doesn't bounce it as well as the first one, the side characters do get screen time and they are fun. The villains are good. There's a little complexity with the villains too, which I like, and they are casted well as well. But like I said, I there's just, and they kind of, in that credits they do tease a third movie, which I know they'll do. They tease a little bit of stuff now I think about it, but yeah, it's a decent movie. It's not the worst thing in the world at all, but I don't think it's as strong as the first one. And I think a lot of it, and at the end of the day, I think a lot of it does have to do with the fact that I think they sacrifice a little story for more action. That's the way it seems like to me. And the action's good, don't get me wrong, but I kind of would like a little story, a little more of that story like the first one. I think the first one just, it just was felt balanced right. And that's the thing, it's hard to describe the balancing effect in films where everything feels just right, just balanced out between the story arcs and the characters and everything. But once you find a film that you feel it in, you start to recognize it more and more. And yeah, this film, I think, not like the first one had it in tons, but it did feel a little, I did feel it a little bit. And this one kind of lacked it a little bit, but it still had some in it, if that makes any sense. But overall, this is a solid movie. Like, there's not really a ton of complaints. It's not like anything offensively bad about it. Just maybe, just not as polished as the first one, but still solid. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this review here of Shazam. It's available, of course. It's been out forever, so definitely check it out if you feel like it. Yeah, guys, outside of that, that's going to do it for this one here. Thanks for watching. In case you guys wanted to chat with anyone at the Campy Company, you didn't want to use the YouTube comment section, we do have a couple options. First one is we have a Discord channel. You can find a link to that in the About page / About section of our channel. We also have a community tab on our channel as well. You can access that anywhere at any time. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.